Hello, friends. In our last video about the Japanese philosophy of Mottainai, so many of you reached out to share how much you value the things you own. One of you even called your collection of glass jars the survivors. I love that. I have been thinking about that phrase all week because it is exactly right, isn't it? These objects have traveled with us. They have survived moves, decluttering purges, and the relentless pressure of a world that tells us to always buy new, always upgrade, always replace. And yet, here they are, still on our shelves, waiting. In a world that profits from our dissatisfaction, there is such peace and a bit of quiet wisdom in finding a new life for what we already have. Today, let us look at 5 simple, budget-friendly ways to honor these survivors, the Mottainai way. And along the way, I want to share a few stories from women who have been living this philosophy long before it had a name. Hack 1. The Survivor Glass Jar. Propagating life. Let us start with the jar itself. We all have that one shelf, or perhaps one entire cabinet, of jars we cannot bear to throw away. Pasta sauce jars, pickle jars, jam jars in every shape and weight. They accumulate quietly, and we keep them because something in us recognizes their worth. My grandmother, Elsa, kept every glass jar that ever came through her kitchen in a small town in rural Portugal. She was 91 years old when she passed, and when we cleared her home, we found shelves of them, organized by size, each one clean and waiting. Her neighbors used to tease her about it, but those jars held homemade preserves, seeds for the following spring, coins for the grandchildren, dried herbs from her garden. They were not clutter. They were potential. You can use that same potential today by propagating a new plant in your jar. Take a cutting from a houseplant, a pothos, a tradescantia, or a simple herb from your kitchen windowsill, and place it in a glass jar filled with clean water. Set it somewhere with natural light and watch what happens over the next 2 weeks. Roots will appear. Life will begin. A clear, heavy jar is actually the best vessel for this because you can watch the roots develop, which is deeply satisfying in a way that a plastic pot simply cannot replicate. It turns what we call clutter into a small, living focal point. It costs nothing, and it honors exactly what your grandmother or Elsa always knew, that a good container deserves a second life. Hack 2. Retired textiles. The no-scratch dusting cloth. Now let us talk about that drawer full of old t-shirts. You know the ones, too worn and faded to wear out, but somehow too familiar to release entirely. They sit there in a comfortable limbo, and we feel vaguely guilty every time we open the drawer. Here is what I want you to know. Those shirts are not a problem. They are a resource. My neighbor, a woman named Rosario, who is in her early 70s, has not purchased a cleaning cloth in over 40 years. She laughs when she tells me this. She raised 4 children, kept an immaculate home, and ran a small alterations business from her kitchen table. Every worn-out cotton garment became something useful. Nappies became dusting cloths. Old flannel shirts became polishing racks. Soft cotton nightgowns became the cloth she used to clean her eyeglasses and her mirrors. She never once thought of this as frugality. She called it simply not wasting a good thing. Old cotton t-shirts, particularly those made from 100% cotton that have been washed many times, are genuinely superior cleaning tools. The fibers soften with every wash. They become gentler, more absorbent, more forgiving than anything you will find in a supermarket. Modern microfiber cloths can actually be too abrasive for delicate surfaces like antique wood, painted frames, or eyeglasses. Your old t-shirt will not scratch. It will not streak. Cut them into uniform squares. About 30 centimeters works well. Stack them in a small basket or tin in your cleaning cupboard. Suddenly, you have a dedicated cleaning kit that costs nothing, reduces waste, and connects you, however quietly, to the tradition of women like Rosario, who have always understood that care is a form of creativity. Hack 3. The tin can modular organizer. Kitchen drawers have a way of becoming what I call the junk abyss. You open them with purpose, searching for one small thing, and you find instead a chaos of rubber bands, mystery keys, dried up pens, and a collection of clips from bread bags you definitely meant to use for something. We have all stood at that drawer. Cleaned tin cans, with their edges carefully smoothed, make wonderful modular organizers. I want to tell you about Margaret, a woman I met through a community garden group who is in her late 60s and has organized her entire home office using nothing but tin cans. She was an art teacher for 35 years, and she has the eye for it. Her desk holds tall cans for pens and paintbrushes, medium cans for scissors and rulers, and small cans for paper clips and drawing pins. She wrapped some in twine. She painted others. Some she left plain in silver, which she says looks properly industrial and honest. In a kitchen drawer, different sized cans can hold tea bags, rubber bands, small clips, and batteries. They sit neatly. They do not slide around. The metal is satisfying to touch and has a weight that cheap plastic lacks entirely. The vintage quality of a clean tin can is also simply beautiful. It reminds us that good design does not require a price tag. It requires only a little imagination and the willingness to look at what we already have with new eyes. Hack 4. Egg carton seed starters and jewelry trays. Cardboard egg cartons are a Mottainai treasure hiding in plain sight. They are usually flat, they stack easily, they cost nothing to keep, and their small compartments are perfectly designed for holding things gently apart. Nature, it seems, already figured this out. For gardeners, particularly those starting seeds in late winter or early spring, a cardboard egg carton is almost miraculous. Because it is fully biodegradable, you can plant the entire compartment, seedling and all, directly into the soil when the time is right. The cardboard breaks down naturally and feeds the earth. There is no plastic pot to wash and store. There is no transplant shock for the young plant. My friend Diane, who is 74 and has kept a kitchen garden for 5 decades, swears by this method for her tomato seedlings. She says it was her mother who taught her, and her mother before that. We never bought seed trays, she told me once, smiling. We always thought the people who did were a little wasteful. But egg cartons are not only for gardeners. If you keep one in your nightstand drawer, those small cups become the perfect organizer for daily jewelry. Rings in one cup, earrings paired in another, a bracelet draped across 2. Nothing tangles. Nothing is lost under the lip of a dish or rolled to the back of the drawer. It is a humble solution, and that is exactly why it works so well. Humble things, when used with intention, are often the most elegant. Hack 5. Bread tabs for cord management. Finally, I want to talk about one of the smallest heroes in this whole story, the bread tab. That tiny plastic clip on the end of your bread bag. It weighs almost nothing. It costs nothing. And most of us flick it into the bin without a second thought. But those little tabs are perfectly designed for one thing we all struggle with: the snake nest of cords behind our televisions, computers, and kitchen counters. Take a marker, a permanent one works best, and write directly on the flat face of the tab. Lamp, router, TV, phone. Then clip it around the corresponding cord. The next time you need to unplug something, you will know exactly which cord to reach for. No more pulling the wrong one. No more crouching behind the television in the dark, following a cord with your hands like a detective. I learned this from a woman named Helen, who is 80 years old and lives alone in a small flat she has occupied for 40 years. Helen has labeled every cord in her home. She also labels the lids of her spice jars, the tops of her medication bottles, and the keys on her keyring. She told me, without a trace of apology, that she learned long ago that a clearly labeled world is a less stressful world. I have enough to think about, she said. I refuse to waste a single moment wondering which cord is which. There is a lesson in that for all of us. Order is not fussiness. Order is a form of kindness we extend to our future selves. A bread tab costs nothing. The calm it creates costs nothing. And the small, daily relief of reaching for exactly the right thing is worth more than any organizer you will find in a shop. Repurposing is not just about saving money, though that is a wonderful bonus. It is about looking at our homes with gratitude. It is about seeing the potential in what we already have, rather than the lack of what we do not.